Welcome back, you guys, to another episode of Local Diaries, where we are taking rogue or meta decks to our locals to see how well we can do and how far we can go. Most of it is rogue, though, so bear with me. And tonight is no further exception as we take a new budget rogue deck to locals in Blue Eyes White Dragon. For those of you that don't know me, I am Cyrus Obsidian, your guide here at Obsidian Games to helping you win at locals. So let us dive right in. So for today's Locals Diaries, we are taking Blue Eyes. Yes, but not your classic Blue Eyes. We have decided to take it a little bit further beyond, and we are playing Invoked Blue Eyes. So for those of you that don't know, Invoked is a very great engine that allows you to use either player's graveyard for fusion summons as long as you have the right boss monster in your extra deck. So since we are expecting to see a lot of Blue Eyes, we're going to be using the crap out of our opponent's graveyard so that way we can use their cards to our advantage, because this is our graveyard. So without further ado, let me show you the deck profile, and then we're going to head out to locals to see if we can top in today's locals. Alright, you guys, I am super excited to try this out at locals today. So first we'll start off with our Blue Eyes, where we are playing two copies of Blue Eyes the White Dragon, two different artworks, and yes, Kaiba would be disappointed that we're not playing three, but we are playing a third kind of in Blue Eyes Jet Dragon. Blue Eyes Jet is just really great for the deck, being able to be a bounce during the damage step and just a free special summon when a card is destroyed, which is awesome. Next, we do follow it up with three copies of Sage with Eyes of Blue, the main starter of this deck, along with three copies of the Maiden of White. Not to be confused with the Maiden in White, but Maiden of White, the new card from the structure deck. We do follow up with three copies of Wishes for Eyes of Blue, one Roar, one Mausoleum, one Majesty of the White, and True Light, the better version of Eternal Soul. So this is Blue Eyes to its core, essentially, with the new stuff being Wishes and Maiden. We're getting easier access into our True Light. Wishes, we're getting easier access into our Sage. Sage getting into our Maiden. We're getting free special summons. Mausoleum actually being a good card now, which is really crazy. And Majesty over here being a non-target destruction, which is also really great, up to the number of Blue Eyes that you do reveal. So honestly, Blue Eyes definitely got a really big buff, and we are reliving the glory days of 2016. And we wouldn't be reliving it without adding an engine from 2019-2020, I believe, and the Invoked engine. So we do play three copies of Alistair the Invoker, three copies of Meltdown, and only one copy of Invocation. So this might look weird for those of you who have played Invoked or any sort of Invoked engine before. Playing the one copy of Invocation in this version is all you need. I have never had the need to have a second copy of Invocation. Typically when you do play Invoked, you are playing two copies, so that way you're seeing it consistently. But since this deck has like an explosive amount of energy, I think only having the one Invocation is what you need, so that way you're not opening it. You do want to see Meltdown though, so Meltdown can get in your Alistair, and then Alistair is getting you into your Blue Eyes engine, which is crazy. So to get to Meltdown, we are playing one copy of Terraforming. We don't need Terraforming for Mausoleum, since Mausoleum is easily searchable, hence only why we're playing one copy of it. But Meltdown, we do need that copy of Terraforming, so we're essentially playing four copies of it. And that is really all the engine that we play in the deck. Like, this is all engine to get in our combos, and the rest of it is non-engine. So we are playing three copies of Effect Veiler, since Effect Veiler is easily searchable in this deck now, which is crazy. Playing three copies of Ash, two copies of Droll and Lockbird, two copies of Nibiru, one Bestial Magnuma with one Bestial Druisworm, one copy of Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit, three copies of Infinite Impermanence, and one Call by the Grave. So Blue Eyes is easily like one of the best meta budget decks you can play, since you are getting pretty much these staples in the structure deck. You can pick up Drolls and Ghosts in the rarity collections, the Bestials. Those will be a little bit higher priced, but you know, relatively easy to get. And the Invoked engine, which is like honestly super cheap right now, is getting reprinted in Bonanza next month. So you're able to get that, and Invocation along with Mechabot were both reprinted and their alternate arts in the Megaton. So there's that for you. This deck is a 41 card deck, which honestly it works, which is crazy enough. I know the hand trap ratio is a little bit weird, seeing only 2 copies of Nibiru, 2 copies of Droll, and then the 1 random copy of Ghost Ogre. Honestly, the Ghost Ogre is really niche. It is really great in the mirror match against this deck, where you're ogreing the True Light, and True Light just being able to blow up their board if they don't have Spirit or any sort of protection. But it is a 1-of, so don't expect to see it all too often. But our extra deck is also crazy within itself. We are playing 1 copy of Invoked Purgatrio, 1 copy of Blue Eyes Tyrant, 2 copies of Invoked Mechabo, and 1 Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon for fusions. The only real ones that we're really fusing into are these 4 right here. Neo Blue Eyes doesn't get fused into, since we aren't playing 3 copies of Blue Eyes, but it does have a really cool effect, which we do use. Next, we do play for our Synchro lineup 2 copies of Spirit, 1 Lightstorm Dragon, 1 Chaos Angel, 1 Crimson Dragon, 1 Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit Dragon, and 1 Crystal Clearwing over Synchro Dragon. So we don't have quite the Crimson Dragon package. We picked up Crimson Dragon when it was really cheap, months ago when the Megaton first came out. And then we pulled this from Suda, which honestly is a really good replacement for, in my opinion, for the Cosmic Blazar Dragon, because this is just another monster negate, and it gains the attack, so it's very similar to Crystal Wing or the Clear Crystal Wing level 10 that also gets played. So it's a really good replacement for that. And then the Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit Dragon is also just a good negate within itself. So I mean, our Synchro lineup is pretty strong, along with the Chaos Angel being added protection. It's honestly just really great. And then for our links, we're only playing 2 copies of Spirit and then 1 copy of Heretic Seal. The Blue Eyes may have been a Link deck before when you splashed it with Dragon Link, but since you're not having to splash it with Dragon Link, you don't really need to. Alistair gets us into Spirit, which is really crazy. It's really awesome to see. So you're able to just like kind of full combo with it, which is awesome. We're hoping to surprise people tonight with that. But that is our extra deck. Sorry about that. For our side deck. So our side deck does have some expensive choices, so you can change it how you wish. We are playing 3 copies of Molcharmi Perulia, since we do have Perulia. If we had Fuelos, we'd also play it as well, but in its place, we are playing 2 Bestial Druid Swarms with 1 Baldrake, because in the mirror, this also goes really hard. This will also stop Fiendsmith, Bryziel, any light and dark based decks, but primarily this is for the mirror. We do also follow it with 3 copies of Artifact Lancia for the Malice matchup, if we do see that at all. It's been a while since we have seen it, so it just might have vanished for now. We do play 3 copies of Triple Tactics Talent, because Talent to Rip, Steal, honestly, and Draw 2 is just really good, since a lot of monster effects do get activated in this meta. And then we're playing 2 copies of Lightning Storm with 1 copy of Duster. Since we are expecting to see a lot of the mirror, these cards are going to come in really good clutch, just being able to put and apply pressure going second. So we're hoping that those can be utilized to their full strength. But that is it for our deck profile. So let's see how well we can White Lightning our opponents to victory tonight.
So here we are at our locals, and round 1 we play against Azumina White Forest, a deck we've played against before several times. Game 1, we go first, we win the die roll, we try to establish our board, and we just timed things incorrectly on his turn with Spirit Dragon that prevented us from like extending and being able to stop him through his plays. We ended up taking game 1. Game 2, I set up a better board, this time with Fears, the Majesty Trap, and we were just going to control the tempo with all the hand traps that we had in our hand. So we controlled it that way. I think game 3, we ended up drawing because we went to time. Neither one of us realized how much time we had left, and he set up a Psychic Band Punisher and Chaos Angel that was unaffected. I did Bisteel him, which was good, but it was enough to stop him in his tracks. But we still win in time, and we don't have a burn. Game 2, we played against Primite Blue Eyes. We go first, we establish our board, and he gets rid of my True Light, which, you know, stops a lot of the recursion of the deck. He banishes it, so we weren't able to like get recursion, and he was just able to clear my board, and we were just stalled on trying to get through things. He also stopped my Mechaba. If Mechaba was still alive, we would have definitely had it, but because Mechaba was dead, we weren't. Game 2, we went Spheres again with Majesty, or no, we weren't able to get into Majesty because he drolled me, so it was just... No, yeah, game 2, we didn't even establish anything. We had the Magical Meltdown, Alistair in hand, and we passed. We had a Bisteel in hand out of the 6 Bisteels that we have. We just saw Baldrake, which was unfortunate. And we didn't have another monster on the board. If we did, we could have stopped a lot of the summons that he was doing and stopped him from his plays, but it was no good. We take the L. We just gave him the game because there was no coming back from that. There was just no coming back because he Secret Village locked me too, and he just had a very oppressive board, so it sucked. But we're 0-1-1, so we've got 3 rounds left to prove ourselves and see how well this deck actually does play. Round 3, we play against a Structure Deck Challenge Blue Eyes. So game 1, he wins the die roll, so he goes first. He's able to establish his board playing through the Droll and Bisteel Magnum that we had. He just had a little bit more gas than I was able to establish his board. I only saw the Invoked engine, and it wasn't quite enough to get me through to win game 1, so he ended up taking it. Game 2, we were able to just clap back with the hand traps. We opened up pretty much every hand trap in existence and just controlled the tempo from there. We played through, we let him nib me so that way we can set up our invocation with Mechaba, which we could have set up earlier just to prevent the nib, but it's whatever. And we were able to play with just tons of hand traps, and we were just able to control the tempo game 2. We were very low on time in game 3, so he went first. He opened up his board. He established the board through the hand traps I had, which was just a Molcharmy, Imperm, and Bisteel. And he called by the Molcharmy, so it didn't resolve, unfortunately. And came back to me, tried to swing, but he just... he bounced my stuff back, and then we just kind of like played back and forth a little bit with neither one of us doing damage, and he ended up taking it, or we ended up drawing. So we are 0-2-1 with 2 draws, 1 loss, and we just heard for round 4 the announcement, and I just got the bye. So I guess we're 1-2-1. Honestly, the deck is doing okay. I was expecting it to do a lot better than it is right now, but it is what it is. We're still trying to learn how to play through some of the interruptions, just playing the deck. Our own weakness is probably our draws, but so far it's not too bad. I am liking it. It is fun. It's a new challenge, and it's unique. It's interesting. I definitely do want to upgrade my Alistairs and that Mechaba, though. I don't like the golds. They're just not my favorite, but I like the artwork for the Alistair, so gotta wait. All right, so, you know, we're playing Invoked Blue Eyes. I guess it's just a night of playing against Blue Eyes as well. So round 5, last and final round, we play against Blue Eyes. He wins the die roll, so he goes first. He's able to, he sets, pass. I go for my turn. Seeing as it's a new player learning how to play the deck, I didn't want to go full combo and advantage. Surprisingly though, he did have hand traps. He nibbed me, he veilered me. He did have Majesty set, so I mean, he was playing in the interactions, just not when he initially wanted to. So I went to battle. I swung with my first monster. I summoned Jet, and then he tries to nib me in battle phase. I'm like, can't do that. It's during the main phase. So I swing, I hit him for tons of damage with the other monsters I had. I go to main phase 2. And I'm like, all right, now that we're in main phase 2, if you want, you can activate the card. I don't have anything to activate here, so I leave it to you. So he nibs me there. He gives me a chunky nib token set. I set and pass. He gets it back on his turn. He does a shifts nib into defense because all he had were hand traps, I guess. Set another card, pass. he goes Majesty, pops my Nibiru token, which I was going to use for Crimson Dragon, undoubtedly. So that way I could get another Omni on board, but it was whatever. But I eventually just cracked the board and swung for Blue Eye, with Blue Eyes for game. We go game 2, he opens up first. He does a little bit better at establishing a board, and we just cracked it full send and left him with just 400 life points because I couldn't crack through the multitude of hand traps that he had. So I ended with Seals, Spirit Path with True Lights face up. I tried getting into the Invoked engine because I had Meltdown, I had Invoker, I had Alistair, but I couldn't get Invocation, so he was able to stop me from that. But I was able to get into the Blue Eyes portion of the deck, and since I luckily had a Spirit, the Wishes, I was able to go full combo for that. So we were able to clear the board on his turn, and then we just swung in for the rest of the damage to take it. So ending 2-1-2, 2 wins, 1 loss, 2 ties. Not too bad, but one of the wins was a bye given by the system, so I don't know how I feel about that. But, you know, overall we played against 3 Blue Eyes players and just the 1 White Woods Azamina, kind of just like how it happened last time when we played our 10E Sword Soul, where we played against 3 Blue Eyes and then the 1 Azamina White Forest. So it's just funny how that happens. But we'll see where we placed. I will stay to the very end just to see. But honestly, my overall interaction is really good. I would probably drop the deck down to 40 rather than the 41. I would probably put Callbite into the side. And much of my side really didn't see much. I did see the Bystials a lot playing against the Blue Eyes matchup. We didn't see the Artifact Lancias. We saw Talents for one of the mirrors. I didn't side any Lightning Storms or Vesture. So there are things that like I might side out later, maybe hand trapped rather than the board breakers, but it's just something that we're still working on and just trying to figure out. So we'll see what happens. So overall, ending 10th place is not too bad out of 19 people. We'll take it right in the middle with 2 wins, 2 ties, 1 loss. I think it's a well-deserved pot. But we will workshop the deck a bit. I like playing it. It was definitely different, definitely new, and we'll see what more we can do with it going forward. But thanks for watching, you guys. Like, comment, subscribe, share with a friend. Let me know what you guys think of the deck profile and what you think I should change. I definitely like reading your comments, so keep them coming. But other than that, pass it over to you.